Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, where we are still continuing to build the world's biggest transportation company in the entirety of Australia. Last episode, in the recent episodes, we've done a lot of expansions, but one of them we've done quite recently was implementing these trucks that deliver the goods to more of Perth. Now, Perth demands a lot of items, and the problem we had was when the goods were being delivered to Perth, they were coming to the train station and only reaching this little area. And it turns out Perth, when it comes to goods, the majority of it wants to be over on this side of it. So what we've done was, and it's probably a little bit ambitious, but we set up a load of truck stops that go back and forth, one to the other, to the depot here, which picks up a load of goods that distribute to these areas. Now, it has worked out pretty well because now Perth is demanding more goods, like from the areas that we kind of creating it, which is creating more supply. But I have a feeling it will take a while before this line makes profit. Just solely because it is a lot of destinations that they've got to travel to. Might have to reduce them. We'll see how we get on with it. It'll be interesting to see what happens this episode. But today, we're going to start planning our next version of the high-speed train line. Now, as of right now, we have pretty much all the towns in Australia connected, except this one random town here of Laverton. And then pretty much all the towns after Newcastle. So we've got Grafton, Toowoomba, Brisbane, Hervey Bay, Rockhampton City, Mackay, Townsville, Cairns, Rocky Point, and Bamagad. They're the only towns remaining that we do not have connected. Now, I eventually want to run some type of a transportation line from Grafton all the way up to the north point of Bamagad, and that'll be our commuter route going back and forth connecting all these cities. Then we've got to pick one city to be the hub for our high-speed train line that is then going to skedoodle out wherever we choose it, and it's got to go to all of our high-speed train hubs. So we need one that goes down to Mildura, one that goes to Catherine, and one that obviously goes to Perth. Those are our high-speed train hubs that we've got to get connected, but we got to figure out where it's going to happen. Now, I'm not going to connect up all the towns first. We're actually going to do the high-speed train line. It's kind of counterintuitive to do it like this. But the only reason I'm doing it is because connecting a commuter line to there, as difficult as it will be with the landscaping, is fairly easy. There's not many obstacles of other transport lines and networks. The high-speed train line, though, there is. Now, looking at it, we kind of need to pick a town that's preferably in the center of this commuter line. So we're looking at either Townsville, Mackay, or Rockhampton has all this space here we can use, but then again, so does Hervey Bay, how they pronounce it. But that's towards the end of this line. If I chose Rockhampton, it's not particularly smack bang in the middle, but it's probably the most logical one. And if I bought it out, I need to make it bend this way to go down that way to, obviously, Mildura. We then need to set up a turn to utilize this transportation line going down here, the high-speed line to Perth. I'm going to have to create a new one that goes across to get to Catherine. Oh, there's so much we got to set up, boys, and that's what we're going to get done in today's episode. If you are enjoying this series, smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. So, how are we going to do this then? So, whatever happens, I've got to build the high-speed train station and also incorporate the commuter line going through it as well. The train's going to come out, and if I get it to kind of attach to this station, just so I can run it through this line. Now, the high-speed train line, I have to set it up where it's a separate line that can only be used by the high-speed trains. No commuter routes, no cargo can use them lines. We've got to keep them separate. So I can add two lines going on here. I have to kind of change this, which will go down to here, which can then go straight over to Catherine. But for Perth and Mildura, we've got to turn into this. Problem with this line is it is used by commuter lines. Now, if we follow it down, at some point it does split, and that goes into the second cargo line. But then we get into the crissy-crossy of the high-speed train lines here. Now, this is a high-speed train line here for Mildura. And that high-speed train line does get sucked in to the back and forth commuter route, but it's only a short route. Now, the commuter route here is used on this one. It's the pink line. So you can kind of see it coming up. Comes all the way up. Crissy-crossies. And then eventually it turns here where it no longer then has to interact with another line. Now, I can get that. I'm going to have to build a separate line here. But I'm wondering if there's going to be a way in which I can kind of maybe separate the high-speed train lines to all of this network. The problem is I'm not going to be able to, because it also shares... Well, it doesn't share the platform, but it shares the train tracks with what goes on in the middle. Now, if I was to go... let's not do that and maybe put something underground. I could do it as far as here to create an underground section and get the high-speed train line to run underneath all of this. And then to pop out around here. But then again, how much of an issue really is that? You know what I mean? How much of an issue really is that? The high-speed train line... I mean, it goes to both places, Catherine and Perth. Now, recently, the finances are looking pretty good. So, you know, there's not really much hassle there. Finances are pretty good. There's not really much hassle. So, I don't know how much that's really going to affect us. But I do know I'm going to need a separate line for heading more this way for my new high-speed train line. So, if I just build this to begin with... Just here, so I've got my kind of line set up. And I've got to commit right now to understanding what is the best way to do this. Do I truly make that high-speed train line go underground? Do I keep it separate? Do I move it? It's a tough one. It's on the inside. The cargo lines are backing onto it on the one side as well. Now, if I did do that, it would have to go underground here to connect over to here. I do have a problem with this, though. It's a case of, can I make it go underground enough? It doesn't get used from this side, does it? Well, it will do now because I've had to kind of readjust them. But let me try... See, the issue is, no, I can't make it go underground unless, and this is the difficult part right now, unless I bring this up. Is this an underground section? Right, that's an underground section there, which I've tried to make it go up as narrow as I can. And the answer is going to be no. I'm not going to be able to. Unless I configure this station and we delete this and this. What have I just deleted? Delete you. So we delete back by 1 to give us a little bit more leeway to go underground. Right, I think we need to delete back by 1 more. It's a pain, yes I know. But it's only my cargo line. So I want to do this because we are going to be adding more and more trains onto this. Right, this is so difficult. I might have to delete the main line. Let me delete there, reconfigure this to delete this. I've got to delete the main line here to be able to kind of do my underground section and then replace it back in because I'm getting sucked into it. Man, who would have thought this would have been so difficult? Right, from here, I'm going to make it go underground. How much space do we need? Like, seriously? How much space do you need, right? You need that space to make something go underground. Is it because of the terrain around all this stuff? Like, if I delete this now... and now go underground? Right, go to there. Right, we're underground. We're underground, boys. Holy moly. Right, that took a while. Right, if I build you... build you... okay, and then delete you... you... Oh, I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about this. Alright, go to there. This is so tricky. I want these to be the same, though. You know what I mean? I want these to be the same. Right, do it like that. Delete you, delete you, delete you. But I am no way in this world. Oh, oh. Oh my goodness me, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere, boys. We might be able to actually do this. It's just this is my next issue. Right, get you to there. Can I run this? To here. I don't know how we've done it, but we've managed to do it. We've managed to do it. Oh my god. Okay. Right, delete you. This has now changed everything. This has now changed everything. So getting back up to here then, because this is going to mess me up dramatically anyway. Because there's going to be some trains that are kind of now sucked into their locations. Right, and then bring this round, and obviously we've got to go into a tunnel. So if we go to there, go to there. And if I just then quickly select you, and then... I know I'm asking for trouble here doing it all the way. But that's what a high-speed bend looks like, with also allowing me to keep the speed of it as it turns and goes round. It doesn't pop back up. You don't see it. That's amazing. This is going to not only make my high-speed trains so much quicker, but it's going to allow me to now connect everything up a lot easier. So that runs down to there. I've obviously got to do a crisscross. Okay, I've got to still do the crisscross. And that's where the issues come in. But the crisscross, unfortunately, the crisscross is going to have to go down here. You know what I mean? So that allows me to go down to there. I have to get a signal now in. So a signal there. As it waits for the train to crisscross. And I'll do the rest of the signals once I've got this section now in, because I've now got to connect this up. So I think maybe connect to there might be a little bit too close for comfort with the way that this is going to bend. So if I was like here and I wanted to go to here. Oh, this could work as well. Why is this going to plan so easy? Like, seriously. Alright, bringing this down. And then obviously, we have to kind of do some type of a turn here. Making sure that goes in. And yeah, it does have to slow down. But 124 is not bad for turning a corner. You know what I mean? Not bad for turning a corner. I mean, it also helps if I put it on the right side. I just realised I'm not even on the right side here. Alright, delete, delete, delete. Like a damn fool. Put it on the wrong side. I'll put it on the cargo line. Right, there we go. That's our bend. Our triangle connection now in. To allow the high-speed trains from over this side go to Mildura and to turn for Perth. Obviously, we've got to set one up for Catherine, so I'm not making it go down, turn, to go up and in. Which I could do, but, you know, I can connect it straight to kind of create a more direct approach and route. So let me just sort out the signals then. Because the signals are now is what's going to make it. So you go there. You're there. And I'll put this one here. It's not a problem. You're there. And then over here. It's a case of there, there. This one, just there, gets deleted. And if there is multiple trains, put you there. Do the same just here. There's one just there anyway. And then underground. We're going to do a multitude of them. Right, that sorts us out. The issue is the current trains on the route that are maybe now caught up in the wrong positioning. I kind of have to wait for them to... Like, this train here is now caught up and doesn't know what to do. Which is a bit of an issue. So I can send to a depot. And I'm going to have to then turn it around. Which is annoying. But that's how it works. High-speed train to Mildura. Where are you now going as well? Right, this is now truly messed up. Hold on. That's shooting both sides here. Okay, so that train can now go back out. What? Oh, what line was that on? Oh, I've now messed up. I don't even know which line was which. Right, high-speed train to Mildura's got 4. High-speed train to Mildura for Catherine has got 2. So you are the Catherine high-speed train to Mildura. Now, what's good for us is, because I'm meant to go past, it can then bring it back in. It will go to the right side it needs to be on. This one, not so much. I'm actually going to sell this train. Because it means I've only got 3 on the Catherine line. And then I'm hoping the rest are all okay. I think we're okay for the rest of them. And breathe. Okay, so that line now continues to connect this way, which as it goes up here, will probably make it go underground and then pop back up for the bend this way. But I want to align it into this station here. So we're going to have to configure this real quick. We are paused. So I need to delete you. Tracks, high speed. Just so I can use this station as an alignment. For my high-speed train. It's a long-winded process, just bear with me. There we go. And we're going to quickly just delete this road. We'll redo the road. And all we need is platforms, cargo building, smack bang there. And then I just need the road. No ownership, please. Keep it simple. Right, that's back to being connected. No issues. More importantly, I now have the high-speed train line I can utilize. So track-wise, this is where it gets interesting because not only do I need it to skedaddle through, right, I need it to go under this line here, but I'm also going to need it to go under this line here. So if I... Right, that's the snap. So I'm going to keep it under as a tunnel to that point. Because this is the line that goes to Catherine. But I also need to turn here for the Mildura and Perth line. So if I get that to go there, and then we're just going to naturally... There's the snap. Bring it back to Earth. There we go. Then I've got to bring... Because this line going up right now is the commuter route, also the cargo route for sending goods up north. So I don't want to kind of do anything with this. I've now got to bring this, this line here, to some point a tunnel, which we'll get that connected on at, a later date. If I build... to the point where, because we've got to go underneath all of this here. So I've got to do something low enough that it doesn't, that intersects it, which is not great. I mean, I don't have to. I could also do it above, but it's got to be low. Now, that is lower than it. It's hard to tell. But that is lower than it, where it doesn't crisscross over it. That crisscross is there. So that is there, your lowest point. It's hard to see the layers. It really is. That's your lowest point there. If I go back a bit, you can then see the layers now. See the layers? Yeah, baby. Right. I've got to get that now to a workable height. Which actually is quite easy to do. So if I make this the outskirts one, and I'm looking at the speed variation, or 126 on the turn. $130. Yeah, we'll go with that. Right. All this for high-speed trains. Right down. And then all I got to do now is figure out how this... Where is it? Where's the connection? Figure out how and where this is going to be positioned to go underground. So if I at least get it to connect to there, then at this point here, we make it go underneath. And I just want this to run to there. That's literally all it needs to do. Right, get it to there just first and foremost. Right, we can now breathe a bit easier. So let's just sort out the signals for this. It's then one less job I've got to do. So here, bam, bam, well, bam, and then bam, 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 bam. Oh, no, that one didn't go in, did it? There we go. No. Oh, hang on. No, that's fine there. There. And then we continue to there. So, we're pretty much now ready to incorporate the Rockhampton City Station. Now, I want to incorporate this to not only being the high-speed train line station, but also the commuter station as well. We can kind of merge the two. So looking at it, how am I actually going to run the train line for all of this? Now, I can make it go through the mountains. And we pop out a station and then back through the mountains. So I think it's just going to be a normal line in reality down here. Yeah, so I think it's just going to be a normal line. So buildings, passenger, 4 train tracks, high speed. That's what it needs to be, because the one closest to the city is the high-speed train line station, and I'll make it quite long. So if I went, for example, here, because I'm going to build a new road for it. If I went there, and let's say I kind of position it to be like this. So that random placement right there is now going to change everything for this city. And it means Rockhampton is now designated to be the high-speed train line crossover section. Which, for the city itself, is a huge economical boost. So let me just kind of run some road here and there. I can slightly terraform it. Is that smooth? Yeah. Just smooth it ever so slightly around this area. Make it a little bit more builder friendly. And then this here, will get slightly... I might be able to turn that into a slight little tunnel before it kind of hits those buildings. Who knows? Who knows? But we are now going to have to run this pretty straight here. So the train tracks. So where does it go? So that's straight there without any diversions, any changes, any hiccups, any problemos. It does exactly what I need it to do. And then we'll get the other side of it set up. And then we just got to figure out where the bend now takes place. For this side here, the high-speed train. So if I bring it slightly out. And then it should be straightforward. Which, that's kind of cool. A nice little bridge going over. I'll go for this one. Looks a little bit chunkier. I like that. Straight over the road. Nice little feature. And we'll do the Chrissy Cross just here. And then we'll quickly set up some signals. Alright, bam, bam. Bam, bam. And that sorts us to that point. So technically, I could run a high-speed train right now from Rockhampton to all of the places, even including Catherine, even though I don't have the train line connecting all the way up, because it will kind of go down, round, and then up and in. But we'll get that in just a minute. But at the same time, even if I did, it would be pointless, because I don't have the commuter route to bring everybody over here just yet. That's what we're going to have to get set up in the next coming episodes. But that's where the main hub's going to be. And then the commuter line will utilize this side, as well as the cargo utilizing that side as well. So the cargo will share the same line as the commuter line. I will have to kind of reconfigure this kind of platform station to be able to also accept cargo. But that's not too bad. Not too shabby. We can be quite happy with this. We can be quite happy with this. And this whole side of Australia, once the commuter line's all set up, is going to be absolutely booming. Right. Very good. So technically, I can put it back into play mode now because it doesn't hinder anything. There's a lot of lines. They all crisscross one another. It's a little bit crazy. But the high-speed train is coming into Mildura have separate lines that go underground. I think that is absolutely amazing. I really do. I really do. Do you know what I haven't done? I don't think it... No, it doesn't really matter having the crisscrosses here. But I can get set up additional signals. Well, I can definitely have one there. That'll mean the trains move down a bit further. There's a high-speed train just coming here. This is amazing. I'm loving this. I am actually loving this right now. It keeps everything so separate. Right, let's get the one to Catherine now set up. So it pops out here. I'm going to have to bring it down, maybe turn it slightly. But all it's got to do, because on this here, the high-speed train line is on the right-hand side. So I've just got to create a big swooping bend this way. That's literally all I've got to do. So let me see the position. I've got to bring it down this way. So the swooping bend could potentially even happen. And I'm looking at speed limits. So the 140s. That seems good enough for me. Alright, bring it out next to it as well. Now, it doesn't need to go the other way. There's no need for that. Because we're sending it to Perth via the opposite direction. So, that's fine. That is fine. We've got to get these connected to here. Now, obviously, look at the size of the huge connections it tries to create. I might bring it down to not get the bridge. Continually bring it slightly up. To connect into there. There's a lot of smoothing I've got to do with all of this as well. Right, bring this all the way down. Collisions for days, but we'll get there. Bam, ba, bam. Right. That is also then done. That is also then done. There's a lot to take in here, isn't there? There is a lot of smoothing as well. So all that's left for me to do here then is just do the signals real quick. So you need one there, need one there, you need one there. Gonna do a few going this way now. I'll do these nicely spread out as well. So they can kind of maintain some juicy speed. And that's all done there, isn't it? Yeah. So, smoothing it then. This is my kryptonite right now, is spending time smoothing stuff. It is a huge kryptonite for me. Because I just get so sidetracked in smoothing. I don't think that's changing much, but we'll keep it like that. Pops back up over here. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. And a lot of smoothing over here. Right, I want to get now the trains implemented. I know it's probably not a good... It's not a good idea, to be honest with you, because we don't have... If I'm being completely honest with you, we don't have the infrastructure in place on that side of Australia to bring passengers to the high-speed train station. So it will be all for nothing, but it will be nice to see it slowly grow as we do bring passengers over in the next episode. So that would be nice to see. But boy, oh boy, is it going to be a huge money pit to begin with. It really is. Right, a lot of this stuff over here I have not smoothened. It does look a little bit ugly. And I don't know how much over this I can smoothen. If I can smooth any of it, I don't think I can. But let's do it, boys. Let's do it right now. So this is going to be interesting then. High-speed trains to nowhere at the minute because it doesn't really make much sense. But that's all part of the fun, right? So, Rockhampton City Central to Mildura. Making sure it is utilizing, which it is. Make it bright pink. So this is HDS to Rock to Mildura. Nice. Another new line. All the way to, we'll do Catherine next. Where's Catherine? There. Utilizing that bend there. So high speed train from Rock to... Have I spelled Catherine right? Catherine. Yes. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Another new line. And this is probably the longest line out of all of them. And potentially the longest train line that I have now about to create is from Rockhampton all the way to Perth. That has to be the longest line I've got. So, high-speed train, Rock to Perth. Now, we will set up more airports. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about more airports and plane lines. We will set up some more. I'm going to make sure these utilize both sides. It's not until I get the end route set up again on a lot of these lines that will be okay to do it. This Rockhampton one will be really good. For setting up plane kind of routes either end of the commuter line. Well, that's now all set up. So I can buy trains for them. Which we might as well get from over here. Which I'm only going to buy one train for each line. So we need the multi-units, we need electric, and we need the ones that do 198 miles an hour, or whatever the high speed is. Is it 198? 186? It's these ones. They don't carry the most amount of passengers, but these are the multi-units that do go the fastest. So electric, and you can only really get them in the multi-unit stuff. So buy 3 of them and implement each one on the high-speed line. So Rock to Perth, Rock to Mildura, Rock to Catherine. There we go. Now they will have no demand because there is no need to take a high-speed train to Rockhampton City. It's not until I get the commuter line all set in, it goes from literally Bamagan all the way down to Grafton. I don't know how many implement to Wumba right now. I'm not too sure on that. But not until I get that line in, where it makes sense to go through all of these cities and get to this area, because that's the only way to kind of get out of there. But it still probably won't make much sense even when I've done that until I've got all these cities growing with all the goods that they require. So it will be very interesting. We've implemented the high-speed train line anyway. We've actually made it a lot more efficient here, which means there's less trains now going on this little run strip there on the high-speed train line because it now goes underground, which means this flows a little bit easier. So it will be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see what actually goes down. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are excited too. We'll probably end it for here because we've got some big work to do in the next episode. Oh my goodness me, we got some serious expansions, baby. Some serious expansions. So I don't feel like we've done anything of any value in terms of increasing the revenue. It will just be stuff that we've previously got done that would be making more cash. And our previous year has been a record income year of 144 billion. Previously, the record was 141 billion. I'm not sure how we'll do on this year, but we are now going to have a lot more expenses going out. Hopefully the high-speed train's a little bit more efficient. Tennant Creek now accepts goods again. It can't sustain a building unless the build. No, it's because the building keeps upgrading, doesn't it? That's what it is. It's because the building keeps upgrading. So it has been getting the goods. It has been getting the goods. Right, have all the trains left here yet? Not quite. Not quite, boys. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It will be interesting. We might have a few too many trains on some of these high-speed train lines at this point. With this train coming in, almost full. 20 million. Holy moly, that was a lot of cash. That was a lot of cash. How is this line doing, the Wagga Wagga one? That's doing pretty good. I might need to reevaluate some of these bus routes, especially the Melbourne one. Anyway, boys, we'll end it here. We've set up the next high-speed train line, which is going to need a lot of work to make the 3 lines for it that come to it profitable. There is a few people who want to go to some places, but ultimately, we've got to do some serious work. There's a little bit of a backlog here. It's mainly the trains trying to navigate and wait for this big train to get through. But it's interesting. Here's one of the high-speed trains right now making their way down. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, smash the like button down below. Until next time, I see you all soon. So, goodbye.